Hi everybody, this is Perky of 4S Nation, and today we're going to talk about Louis Armstrong. Thank you, Famli Incorporated. It is a well-known fact that jazz, the esteemed, free-spirited African-American musical art form, was birthed in New Orleans, where its antecedent artistic predecessors, African-based rhythmic patterns, blues, folk songs, ragtime, etc., sprang forth from Congo Square in what today is known as Nola's Treme District or 6th Ward. As is often the case, the birth of the music was inspired into existence by the social, cultural, economic, and political environment that functions as its living, breathing incubator. In the case of jazz, we can look at the years following the Civil War as a kind of measuring rod, impetus that would result in the development of the music as a refined, defined, soul-stirring art, having everything to do with the collective experiences of Black people, once held in abject captivity, yet always seeking freedom, peace, mobility, and ultimate liberation. These themes are synonymous with weed, aka marijuana, aka pot or herb, and a plethora of other titles used to describe this magnificent, magical, healing plant that has been a source of controversy almost since the beginning of its arrival here on the shores of North America. According to various sources, the use of marijuana dates back to at least 2700 BC, and consistent in its description is the fact that it was always used by ancient societies. Today seen as a healing herb and often used as a pain reliever. Around 1545, cannabis was introduced in Chile and the Caribbean islands, and in 1606, herb showed up in Port Royal, Acadia, and was declared a legal substance that was manufactured, ordered on a large scale, and was widely distributed as it was used to make clothes, rope, and various other useful materials. Making its North American debut sometime in the 1800s, the first instance of the racialization of marijuana occurred during the period of the Mexican Revolution. And Mexicans were seen as crazed, violent, wild drug addicts who were going to destroy America from the inside out. President Woodrow Wilson was also largely responsible for much of Mexico's political instability, resulting in its 10-year-old civil war. Enter Louis Armstrong, the New Orleans musical genius and triumphant god who, according to reliable sources, smoked pot almost every day of his life from the age 14 until his death at age 71. Since the 1700s and until this day, New Orleans, sitting astride the mighty Mississippi River, is now and has always been a major port city, and at one time, New Orleans was actually the third largest city in America, doubling as the largest slave trading post in the United States, essentially earning the dubious distinction as the center of the state slave trade. Ironically, this tragic reality contributed to the city's distinct cultural flavor, which holds jazz as one of its many nuggets and gifts to the world, and Louis Armstrong being its primary representative as its all-time great cultural ambassador to the entire world. Fast forward to 1930, Louis Armstrong, now a national star, taking a break during intermission at the famed Cotton Club in California, was busted for smoking pot and thrown into jail. This after years of racialized trauma, contract challenges, professional mistreatment, and basically dealing with the corrupt music industry, wherein he was required almost on a nightly basis to ignore his own mental health and make the people of the world happy via the sheer power of his magical horn. Pot was Armstrong's self-described medicine and offered him mental, psychological refuge, acting as a kind of buffer from the constant barrage of microaggressive behavior of greedy, crooked promoters, managers, booking agents, a young nation rife with apartheid-like systems, wherein you'd function as a major star one moment and be required to exit the back door of the very venue where your photo image hangs attracting the adoring fans and big money generated by your God-given gifts. This time, Louis told his manager in no uncertain terms, "Fix this BS, I need my medicine, or I will put my horn down." Pops understood his power. It would not be the last time he'd assert himself and speak truth to power. In 1959, he'd speak out against the treatment of the Little Rock 9 students and scare the hell out of the money-hungry vultures whose financial lives depended upon this man and his majestic horn. Louis Satchmo Armstrong, aka Pops, is not only the most important musician this nation has ever produced, he is also a racial trailblazer who knew his talent and consistently exercised his human right to speak his mind. Thank you, Louis Armstrong, for your bravery and for using your voice to be an advocate not only for marijuana, but also for musical rights and the preservation of intellectual property and